Across multiple platforms or in any game, you're gonna have communities that kind of suck or act a certain way, ways which aren't exactly fair and fun, and oftentimes are actually really toxic.
This game! Riot! Oh my god!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is no different in this regard, and I wanted to bring up a couple of things about this. Things which I believe the community doesn't really fully comprehend. Racism, ableism, and everything else in between is absolutely rife in this community, but not exactly unique, and it won't be the topic of today's video, despite being subjects that absolutely do suck. Throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! For many years, we've seen illegal plays happen at the highest level in all shapes and forms. Plays that top pro players, some of the best in the world, and multiple table judges miss on camera, yet are so obviously illegal and dumb in hindsight. The biggest takeaway from this is that players until today still do not understand the difference between an illegal activation or play and cheating. Performing an illegal action is not the same as maliciously, with intent, performing an illegal action. The policy documents under the penalty guidelines have a theme in all of the provided examples for a UC major cheating infraction to be an illegal play which specifically and uniquely includes the intention. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the most complex card game by a mile, and it isn't even close. That means that when you see an illegal action, it is very likely, not always, but very likely, a genuine mistake, no matter how obvious it might seem. Tournament pressure, fatigue, stress, these are all things that come into account during high pressure environments, especially at the highest level of play. And because of this, you should generally try and always give people the benefit of the doubt. Too many times, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will see an illegal activation and instantly call for cheats, game losses, disqualifications, and even bans, all because they managed to pick up on an illegal action missed by even the players themselves present and the table judges. The witch hunt mentality really needs to stop. Players need to try and understand the meaning of this word intention. It is truly shocking just how many extreme calls there are for DQs and bans to be handed out left and right over simple illegal actions that in the end sometimes barely even manage to affect the outcome of the match. Konami's official post on this highlights this and specifically says you should not keep repeating these comments to yourself and spectators, accusing people, attacking the duelists and judges, and calling for specific penalties to be assigned, even going so far as to harass individuals. You should try and report these things, but at the same time understand that once it's been passed over and handed over to Konami to deal with, that's kind of where your role stops. During the European Remote Duel YCS, a player recorded his opponent because he wasn't comfortable with his previous actions throughout the duel, which in and of itself brings up a whole different area of concern, but at some point during this game, an infinite impermanence was activated and then an argument ensued over which column a Zodiac Barrage was later used in. There is a lot to unpack here, all the way from what was specifically said to the judge and why there was even recording taking place in the first place. But the thing that is most important to take away from this is that it isn't our place to pass the judgment on this, regardless of how bad it may look and how it might seem. There is a lot to break down here that only a real thorough investigation can really come to a decent conclusion with. Konami's blog post again highlights and makes clear what the important things you can do and not do in these circumstances are, either contacting the OP support, confronting judges and officials in reasonable manners, and understand that if you do make a video or call out post on a website, you are very seriously putting under scrutiny somebody's reputation and standing in the community forever. And that is a very serious and bold move to make, especially if you might be wrong. And so I wanted to make this video because I'm pretty sick and tired of seeing people make the most absurd claims and witch hunts over genuine mistakes, which again, sometimes these mistakes that you see happen don't even affect the outcome of the game. It's time for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community to stop acting as the judge, trial, and executioner in place of the actual tournament organizers themselves. Remember that your accusations go an extremely long way. When you call someone a cheater, that is a huge and bold statement that carries with it a ton of weight and a lot of insinuations. I hope you take away something informative and important from this discussion. But in more lighter news, I'm currently hosting a traditional tournament. Yeah, that's right, a traditional tournament. We had almost 700 players last time. We're trying to see if we can beat that number This time round, signups begin on Monday. You only need to play one duel every couple of days, as it is going to last a week or two. And yes, that is traditional format with all of those ridiculous cards that you aren't usually used to, like Pot of Greed, Confiscation, and fun stuff like that. To take part, join my Discord over at discord.gg/Farfa, where you can read the rules and all the policies. You can sign up, and even if you are interested in judging, we are also requiring people to judge as well, since there will be quite a large number of entrants. You can watch along with the progress over the next couple of weeks on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Farfa, where you can see the daily content where I stream 2 p.m. onwards, and of course, Twitter for the ranky danky memes. And until next time, everyone, adios.